Hey, this is Gecko Mayhem. This is another Godforge video. Every day that goes by brings us closer to beta. And now is the time to get ready to hit the ground running. I made a video recently about the importance of designing standout epic heroes. Rare heroes are also important and should not be overlooked, especially for beta, as the focus in beta is going to be on the campaign and dungeons, and not on specialized game modes or PvP. Now is a good time to look at rares that stand out for early to mid-game PvE progress. The heroes I've chosen may not be the final list of top rare heroes in Godforge. Kits are still open to change, and the beta is going to teach us a lot. But based on the publicly available kits, and what looks valuable for early account progression and PvE content, here are the rare heroes that I would be watching closely. Before we get into the top 5, there is one rare hero I want to give an honourable mention to. ENKIDU looks interesting, even though I wouldn't put him in the top 5. He looks like a solid, self-sustaining brawler with real duo potential when paired with Gilgamesh. Starting with ENKIDU's basic, he attacks twice, each hit healing for 30% of the damage inflicted. Here is where it gets interesting. If Gilgamesh is on the team, he will join the attack. ENKIDU's core is an attack that reduces the target's speed up to 40, and if it's a strong hit, it will do increased damage. The ultimate is a 4-hitter with a chance to place blunt 1. Strong hits increase the rank to blunt 2, and he has a built-in extra 15% chance to strong hit, so you would do well to build him to get more strong hits out. ENKIDU is not as universally impacting as the top 5, because a lot of his strength comes from his partnership with Gilgamesh. However, with his heal on the basic, he will be easier to keep alive, and the speed control on his core, paired with the blunt debuff on his ultimate, gives him decent utility and more ways to pressure the enemy team. ENKIDU definitely looks fun, especially if you're given the chance to pair him with his buddy Gil. As we move into the top 5, I want to start with a rare hero who brings a bit more bang for your buck, mixing damage and disruption. Coming in at number 5, SEERESS is a rare slayer who brings both damage and disruption. This will be a useful combination for early beta progression. She stands out because she's more than just a damage dealer. She brings a mix of offense, turn manipulation, and extra turn potential. First, on her basic, she has divinity manipulation, which with the recent ultimate changes makes for an interesting prospect. Not only will it hit hard, but it will decrease the enemy's divinity if they're not defeated, while increasing her own if they are. Her core is an AoE attack with a chance to place Hex for 2 turns. That extra AoE damage could come in clutch, especially if paired with another hero who does AoE. When fully awakened, she gains an extra turn, provided you have her core booked to 100% and the accuracy to land Hex on all enemies. Her ultimate is an AoE with one of 2 strong self buffs, Sharpen 1 or Accuracy 1. If she places Sharpen, she can do even more damage, whereas if she places Accuracy, it increases the value of her core even more, especially if awakened 5. Her passive synergizes well with the Sharpen buff, granting her a chance to gain an extra turn when inflicting a strong hit. SEERESS looks valuable for a PvE team as she will be excellent at wave clearing, brings utility beyond raw damage, and looks like she'll perform better in practice than many people might expect. Overall, SEERESS is not as foundational as a support or defense hero, but she seems like a great hybrid of offense and control. She brings pressure where it's needed, but if you're after a hero whose value comes from increasing battle tempo and helping to push your team forward, this next one stands out. I gave the number 4 spot to ASLAUG. She may not feel as flashy as a nuker like SEERESS, but her biggest value comes from tempo rather than damage. She stands out because speed and turn meter control are always useful, and it's pretty rare to see this much utility packed into a rare hero's kit. Her basic is a double attack that places speed up 1 on 2 allies. so right off the bat we have our own team moving faster. Her core is very strong. She places block debuff on all allies for 1 turn, and then increases their turn meter by 10%. This helps to protect you, while also smoothing out difficult situations by keeping up momentum. Her ultimate is somewhat niche with its Asgard caveat on the Stalwart buff, but a further 15% turn meter push is significant. Pair that with her passive, where blocking debuffs pushes her teammates even further with another 10% turn meter boost, and she is the queen of helping your team go faster. In beta, while players are figuring out campaign pacing, dungeon consistency, and team flow, ASLAUG is a hero that helps your team to cycle faster and avoid debuffs. She's a strong rare invoker for early game, because giving your allies more turns and keeping them stabilized is valuable. Once content starts to get tougher, survivability becomes just as important as a faster tempo. And this is where our next hero comes in. Nebuchadnezzar sits at number 3. He may not be flashy, but he looks like one of the most useful rare defenders for players looking to keep their team alive through PvE content. He's a safe, reliable progression tank who brings everything you would expect in a hero tasked with protecting their team. Nebuchadnezzar's basic is a single attack that restores 5% of destroyed HP. If allies don't have destroyed HP, this acts as a small heal instead, restoring 10% of damage inflicted. His core is a double attack, with each hit having a chance to place attack down 1 for 2 turns. Weakening an enemy damage dealer like this is very useful for survivability. His ultimate is great for a rare. He places Stalwart on all allies for 2 turns, and then protect 1 on them, while also protecting himself with a barrier. This is a great combination of buffs that will greatly mitigate what the enemy team throws at you. His passive synergizes well with the ultimate, as each time he takes damage due to the protect buff, he gains reduced damage, stacking up to 30%, and when fully awakened, allies also receive 10% damage reduction, further protecting them. Nebuchadnezzar's kit will help with campaign, tough waves, dungeons, and any content where survivability is important. Nebuchadnezzar protects his team while weakening the enemy team, allowing allies to survive longer. If you're looking for a reliable backbone for your beta teams, he looks like one of the safest, most reliable rare defenders to build. He may be one of the most reliable rare defenders to build in beta, but if you want a hero who can really push early progression through front-loading damage, this next hero ticks that box. My number 2, Ramses, is straight up an early carry because he simply brings significant damage, not to mention his debuff potential. He's a great starter hero pick for beta, where allegiance doesn't matter so much because the towers won't be active. His basic smacks one enemy with a chance to place acid for 2 turns. In PvE, this isn't as strong a debuff as PvP, where gear sets matter a lot more, but it's still effective, especially against shields and barriers. And where it really shines is with his passive, as he does increased damage against targets inflicted with acid. Ramses' core is an AoE with a 25% additional chance to be a strong hit. He has a much greater chance here of placing acid, this time on each target for 2 turns. With enough accuracy and the core booked to 100%, he is almost guaranteed to land it, thus increasing his overall damage due to his passive. His ult is a massive AoE nuke, and it pushes his turn meter by 30% for each enemy defeated. This is essentially an extra turn if you use his ultimate at the right time and have the damage to kill. The Awakening 5 bonus here is also nice. If an enemy is defeated, it reduces the cooldown of his core by 1 turn, cycling him back faster to that massive AoE hit that places acid. Overall, Ramses brings real wave damage, applies AoE pressure, starts to pick up momentum as he kills enemies, and synergizes well with acid in his own kit. He's less about utility and more about getting the job done by bringing the pain. Eventually, he will be outscaled by stronger heroes, but for beta progression, he's highly relevant. He will be a strong wave clearer who hits hard and helps teams move through content efficiently and effectively. RAMSES may be one of the strongest rare slayers for early progression, but the top spot goes to a hero whose value will be evident in just about any team you put together. The top spot here goes to ANKHESENAMUN, who will be a boon to anyone's account. She's a rare invoker who brings strong survivability and recovery to her team. Her basic is pretty basic. A reminder here that initiative is being reworked as faith. So let's pretend for a moment. She attacks one enemy and places faith up 1 on herself. This is important because her ultimate is what makes her stand out, and the more she can use it, the better. Her core is a party-wide cleanse that also places block debuffs for 1 turn. Pairing a cleanse with a block is particularly strong and will have a lot of use in beta content. Her ult places a party-wide shield and increases the duration of a random buff by 1 turn. The randomness of this is probably one of the only limiting factors for this hero, as if you have multiple buffs across your team, there's no guarantee which one will be boosted. However, it's her unique passive that makes her really stand out as such a strong rare support hero. Whenever an ally falls below 50%, she'll place Phoenix on them. Granted, it's only for 1 turn, but as a safety measure, it's a very strong buff, and there's a chance on her ultimate that Phoenix will be extended. ANKHESENAMUN looks strong for campaign progression, dungeons, stabilizing teams, and supporting stronger heroes. All in all, she brings great value in keeping your party safer and healthier. She brings exceptional utility for a rare hero. That kind of value will be very important as we test PvE beta content. And that's why she takes the #1 spot for me. Heading into beta 1, these are the rare heroes I would be watching most closely. Not because they're guaranteed to be the best rare heroes in the final product, but because they all bring something useful to early progression, team building, and greater success in beta content. Which rare heroes stand out for you? Which ones would you place into your own top 5? I'm Gecko Mayhem, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.